Yo, what is up, everybody? Popo here bringing guys a new video, and today we're going to be talking about Tornadus. Let's go. Welcome, everybody, and today we're going to be talking about Tornadus. Tornadus is, of course, one of the best Tailwind setters of all time, but I feel like it's a little bit fraudulent at the moment and into Regulation G, which we are returning to as of today. So if you're not on ladder trying to get back to Master Ball, make sure you go do so. We're going to start seeing events, of course, in Regulation G again, and then people will probably be like, oh yeah, I remember this format, and I hated it, because a lot of people complained about this regulation, and those same people are like, man, I'm so glad it's back. So, interesting. But anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about today. We are here to talk about the Pokemon Tornadus. Tornadus has, throughout the history of its existence, has been a very, very, very good Tailwind setter. It also sets, Rain, and it has Hurricane and now Bleak Wind Storm, which do a lot of damage. And one of them is even a spread move now, which is actually insane and can lower the speed, which is crazy. And it gets Icy Wind. It gets a few other things, Taunt. So it can do quite a few things. But what's interesting about it is that there is a Pokemon that's competing with it that a lot of people give a lot less of a eye at, even though it is still a top Pokemon, and we'll see that when we go through this. It just doesn't get the recognition as much as the Pokemon like Tornadus does, where everybody's like, oh, it's Tornadus, that's, A tier, and they automatically put it in A tier. And that other Pokemon is Whimsicott, and they put that Pokemon usually in like B tier, and they kind of just slap it in there like, oh, it's the next best Tailwind user. It's good in these cases, it's good on these teams, and usually it plays a slightly different role where you're going for Sunny Days sometimes. It also has Encore. It still has that Taunt too, but it's also a Fairy type. So it is playing quite a different role, but I'm going to be honest with you. The stats are telling a different story on which Pokemon people should be using, and we're going to look at that today. So we're back here on Lab Mouse. I went for the 3 most recent tournaments that had over 100 people, and we're going to take a look at those. But first, we have to tell the past story, and we're going to start all the way back from the Los Angeles Regional Championships. This was Regulation G again. This was all the way back in May. So, yeah, so far away. And with a total of 612 teams, which is very respectable, we could see Tornadus here. Tornadus was at 167, or 27.3% of teams, and it had a 48.08 win-loss. Now, we've talked about this before, and the way I look at whether a Pokemon is very good is how close it is to that 50%. If it is 2% above 50%, that Pokemon's insane, and you should be probably considering it on every single team you have. Unless it's like a niche Pokemon, then it just has like a weird. But anyway, and if it has under 2% under 50%, like this almost does, that means that Pokemon is dropping off and is not as good as it seems. Now, an example of this is Raging Bolt, right? Raging Bolt is 53.9%. That is 4% above 50%. That means this Pokemon is performing way better than expected. We have Chi-Yu here, 56.95. That is extremely good, especially on an 18.15% teams, 111 teams. So that is performing very well. Like Calyrex was doing well, Blood Moon was not doing well. Then you have like Galapagos, who is doing average, so that is perfectly fine, has one more win than loss, because you got to consider some of these people are getting first place. Some of these people aren't getting too many wins, so this win percentage is affected by that and can fluctuate. So Incineroar, won the whole tournament. So did Tornadus, but Tornadus won the whole tournament at a 48%. So did Urshifu, right? Because a lot of people at the top end and at the bottom end were using this Pokemon. So that's why I look for a little bit of variance. I say about 2%. If it's any lower than 2%, the Pokemon is probably, you want to be looking somewhere else at the moment, because there's probably a lot of stuff in the meta countering it. So we look here. We see 48, it got first place. That is great. That was all the way back in May. So we fast forward another event that's going to be Bologna, and that's going to be the next month. It's going to be in June. And we can see Tornadus has dropped down in usage. It's about the same. There's 897 people at this one, so it's a much bigger tournament. 235 usages, and it gets first place again. So very good performance. It actually improved in its win percentage, which is really, really nice. Whereas like Raging Bull has dropped down, but we see the rise of Rillaboom too. Rillaboom doing very, very well. Urshifu staying about 50% there, so Urshifu's performing just as you would expect. Fluttermane did disproportionately worse in this one. And we can see down here Whimsicott is starting to rise, because we didn't really see Whimsicott on the other one, did we? It was right here, actually. It did pretty good. And it was 51.8, and now it's 49. So it's about average. 1% drop on either side is fine. And that's 13% of teams. So performed well, but dropped in usage. So it's really interesting, as Tornadus also technically dropped in usage, but it was approximately the same. So we're going to fast forward to the North American International Championships, and we can see they're about even, but Whimsicott is dropping down a little bit more at 48% to 49%. But 8th place and 4th place, sixth place here and 6th place here. So pretty consistent. It's because that was the same one. 2nd place here. My apologies. I'm clicking on the wrong ones. It's hard to see my tabs with the light right there, so I can't tell which one I'm on. So 4th place is a good finish. We got 8th place, so we see Tornadus's placements are starting to drop a little bit, and its win percentage is still in that variance, so it's not doing too bad. Whimsicott dropping down, like I said, a little bit to 48, so still in the variance, but not as good. We see Rillaboom, Urshifu and Incineroar doing very, very well. Raging Bolt, we see some Iron Hands like skyrocketing. So, still really good for them. Now we go to the World Championship, and this is where the story begins to change. So we can see here, there is no Tailwind setter at all. And we see Caly-I actually did really good at the World Championship. But if we go down here, we can see them right next to each other. So they're about the same usage. But Whimsicott had a 51% win percentage and got first place, whereas Tornadus had a 45 win percentage with the 27th place. That is huge. And this is what made me think of this video, right? Because looking at the statistics now compared to what they were when the format was first around, we saw Tornadus, slowly decreasing, especially in usage. It fell down the line, and it's also falling down the placements, right? It was like first, 6th, and now it's falling, now 27th. So we saw a steady decrease in the last 4 events, because these were the last 4 before, Regulation H took over, and we could see not good at the World Championship. A lot of people were prepared for it. They knew what was coming. So it did not perform well. But that, I want to know, did that continue? Did we continue to see that trend where, Tornadus wasn't that good? Because a lot of people are trying a lot of different things right now. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe, it kept the same or it altered. Ogerpon, 53% is insane. But yeah, we see like the top contenders that we were talking about, Urshifu, Rillaboom, Raging Bolt, Incineroar, all within those 50% variances. So they're doing actually as expected. Same with Calyrex, both Calyrexes. The Calyrex Ice did extremely well. Of course, getting 2nd place. Miraidon didn't do so well at the low end, but did well at the top end, of course, winning the whole event. So there's just so much variance with these. So I'm going to go into these last 3 events that we just saw. This is going to be the Spear Pillar. This is for $20. So good money's on this one. 131 teams. And we can kind of see that the top are those same similar Pokemon. Fluttermane has performed very bad in this event. But we see here Tornadus. On 29 teams, that's 22% of the teams. We see it getting a 39%. 39 is extremely, extremely low. This means this Pokemon is losing way more often than it's winning. And, with a 51-77 record, getting 14th place, this did not perform well at all. 14th place, of course, is not a bad finish, but overall, it had not performed at all as expected. Around that 50%, like we talked about. Whereas if we go down, Whimsicott isn't really being used too much. 17% got 8th place with a 50% win percentage. So theoretically, Whimsicott here, very much a better Pokemon in this tournament. And, you know, that, just looking at that, I was like, whoa, hold on. Let me check some of these other ones that are around here. So now we see Whimsicott in this one. This is 117. This is Talon's Fight Club. Which one happened first? This one actually happened first, and then this the Spear one. And we see that it actually got a 42, so not great, but where's Tornadus? Tornadus is down here, and it had a 40. So that means in 2 events that I looked at, the last 2 big events with over 100 people, it's had a 40% win percentage in both of those. That is terrible. 18th finish, which, once again, not bad. 18th finish is not bad. If you are finishing 18th in a 100-person tournament, you're not doing too bad. But a Pokemon like that is supposed to be the best Tailwind setter getting a 40% is kind of crazy. And a lot of that is Raging Bolt. Look at how well Raging Bolt performed at this event. 60% win percentage. It was crazy all over the place. But Miraidon, which is another big counter to Tornadus, only 46%. So Caly-I's Shadow Rider was destroying too. So yeah, okay. And then let's look at the last one here. All right, this one happened on the same day as the Spear one. This is Maddo's Cup number 4, 100 pounds for the winner. That's big monies. And we could see the usual suspects, though. Hearthflame did terrible. Raging Bolt continuing to do very well. Put this thing on your team, guys. This thing, on almost every tournament I've looked at, has had over a 52% win percentage. This might be one of the lowest. But we see here, Whimsicott 26% of teams, right? 49.38% win percentage. It's in that range of the 50%, right? So that's doing good. But where is Tornadus? He's way down here. The usage of Tornadus is dropping like crazy. With the 46% win percentage, this Pokemon just isn't feeling good on teams, right? That's the only explanation for this. And we could see a lot of them are using the same kind of things. We're seeing a Dark Pulse, which is you know, a move. You know, Covert Cloak and stuff. Maybe it just needs something new put on it. Maybe people just need to find out a new set for it. 6th place is a really good finish, but that means it got 6th place and also a 46% win percentage. So that means it performed very poorly on the lower end of the ladder. That's not great. You know what I mean? That is showing that Tornadus right now is just way worse than Whimsicott. And Whimsicott has a history of being very good in these restricted formats. But man, so has Tornadus. And Tornadus has just completely fallen off. Like, this is crazy, this one here. I should have saved this one for last, but where is it? Did I pass it? Am I blind? I'm blind. Oh yeah, it's right at the beginning. 39% on 22%. That's a crazy statistic. That is absolutely ridiculous. It just blows my mind, honestly. Yeah, if you're using Tornadus, try Whimsicott. Put it out there. It's good against the Urshifu, just the same, in Moonblast. It also resists attacks. You can make it survive Surging Strikes, which is really nice. It can also survive, like, you know, ground moves, which is really cool. It can also support, you know, with Sunny Day, so it can do quite a bit. I know Tornadus can also do Sunny Day, but Whimsicott can do Sunny Day. It feels really good. It resists Kyogre. It does quite a few things, so try it out. Put it on your team instead of Tornadus to see how it fits. I'm telling you, it's going to feel pretty good. It's going to feel pretty good. Tornadus right now, not very good. Not that it's not a good Pokemon. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, Tornadus is still a good Pokemon. So if you see this video and you're like, what is he talking about? Tornadus is a great Pokemon. It's fantastic. My team's winning with it. Great. Go in one of these tournaments. Change the statistics. Get out there. Go to an event. You know, let's see Tornadus back on this list as above 46% win percentage, because to me, it looks like it's falling off. And the usages is telling me it's falling off. The percentages are telling me it's falling off, you know? So, hey, stop it from falling. Right now, I'd probably put Tornadus, honestly, with these win percentages on a tier list, I'd probably put it in C tier. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. I think Talonflame is better right now. Call me crazy. Where's Talonflame? There's probably not even a Talonflame in this tournament. I think Talonflame is better. I think people are sleeping on Talonflame a little bit. because Talonflame is actually decent. There was a Greedon in here. That's crazy. It's crazy. Tinglu, Uxie, bro. Who's running the Uxies? It's crazy. But anyways, guys, that is it for me. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what Pokemon you think is overrated in this current format, and let me know a Pokemon that you think is underrated in this format, because I think that's extremely interesting stuff and always worth a try. I think I will be streaming ladder tomorrow. It depends if I can finish my team today, which I'm going to try to do. But if I don't, then it will be on Wednesday. But yeah, that is it for me, guys. I hope that you guys have a fantastic rest of the day. If you are not, or if you like the video, make sure you thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do so. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.